Hi guys, it's Sierra with lifefullandfrugal.com. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm really excited about this post because it's very near and dear to Starla and I's hearts. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you how to create a frugal-friendly Hygge home. If you're not familiar with the word Hygge, not everybody is, and it's okay. It's basically a Danish word that means coziness, comfort, peace, tranquility, and a sense of warmth that you can create in your home. When Starla and I first moved in together and became roommates, one of our biggest goals was to invite people into our home and make them feel welcomed and loved and at peace. And so that's something that we've really worked on over the years. And there's nothing more flattering to us than to have people say to us, when I go to your house, it feels like a retreat from my everyday life. So today I'm going to be sharing with you 15 affordable luxuries to help you create a frugal-friendly Hygge home. Our first thing is creating ambiance with great music. We're a little bit old school. I like my digital music, it's fine, but we love CDs. We love collecting CDs, and you can buy CDs really cheaply at secondhand stores or even online. And some of our favorites play in the background while we're eating dinner or having friends over. Billie Holiday, Blossom Dearie, Julie London, Harry Connick Jr., Diana Krall, and these are very soothing types of music, and they're very relaxing. They create a great ambiance. There's nothing like hearing some Billie Holiday on a rainy, cool day while you're wrapped in a blanket and you're reading a book. It's very relaxing. So next up are cotton and linen sheets and blankets. In our home, we are a bit snobbish about our textiles. There's just nothing quite like having a natural material against your skin. It's a very sensuous experience to feel something natural and light and airy, something that makes your body feel like it can breathe. You know, when you crawl into bed and it feels cool and crisp from the cotton sheets, that's the kind of feeling we want to create in our home. And there's nothing like having a wonderful quilt or blanket available in the living room to use while you're, watching a movie or reading a book. It's a very tactile experience. We're all about having tactile experiences with our textiles. And obviously, it goes without saying that natural materials are just better for your body. We love to use essential oils in a diffuser. We just like our house to smell nice, and we don't like to use things that are made from chemical ingredients, things like Febreze or Glade plugins. No offense if you like those things, but they're not really that good for your body. So we like to use natural essential oils to create an ambiance of pleasantness in our home. Some of our favorites are rose, geranium, lavender, patchouli, neroli orange. These are amazing scents that just boost your mood and make you feel better about yourself. We have books everywhere. When we first moved into this house, my sister said something like, "It defies physics, the number of books that you had in your previous place." And it's true, we have books everywhere. We come from a long line of book lovers and readers. And there's just something about seeing books in a room. It just feels like you're surrounded by the possibility of knowledge and growth and learning, and even the ability to travel, even just through a book, is just such a special experience. And so having a room full of books just feels like you have a room full of possibilities. And magazines are the same way. You can look at beautiful pictures and layouts and be inspired, and sometimes they're just a great topic of conversation. I think in our culture, we need to learn to find new ways to conversate, because so much of our world is digital and we don't talk face to face, and the art of conversation tends to get lost. So finding new ways to conversate through learning and growth via books is a great thing to have as a part of your house to create that Hygge feeling. Next up is fresh eggs. I know not everybody has chickens or ducks in their backyard like we do, and that's okay. If you know somebody that does, buy some and put them in a pretty bowl. I know it sounds a little bit silly, but I just think it's such a pleasant, quaint country feeling when you see a bowl of eggs sitting on the countertop. So even though it's not real fancy, which Hygge isn't fancy, but it's just one of those things that evokes like country charm. And I think that that is a wonderful way to create Hygge in your home. So the next thing on the list to create that Hygge feeling in your home is fresh bread. Unfortunately, bread has gotten a really bad rap in the last 10 or 15 years. Understandably so, because store-bought bread is just not very good for you. But if you think about it, bread has been a stable part of most cultural diets for centuries, and it can be done right. And so when we make fresh sourdough bread and it comes out of that oven, we usually make it late in the evening and it fills the house full of this delicious fresh bread smell. It just brings a smile to your face. It warms your heart. If that feeling and that sense of that delicious smell doesn't create a Hygge feeling, I don't know what does. Next up is an electric water boiler or an electric tea kettle. I know this doesn't seem grand, but again, these are simple, inexpensive luxuries that we're talking about. When I first moved to Germany many years ago, the people I lived with had a water boiler or an electric kettle. And I was fascinated because we only ever heated water in a kettle on the stovetop, which there's nothing wrong with that. But it's so wonderful to be able to use an electric kettle because A, it boils the water very quickly, and B, if you forget about it, it's okay. It turns off automatically after it boils. Whenever I have friends over, they're always so excited about the coffee. It's so funny because the coffee is not special. The trick is to be able to get that water boiling fast and to use a French press. I don't know what it is about French press coffee, but in my opinion, and apparently the opinions of many of my friends and family, French press coffee just tastes better. So I encourage you to get an electric kettle and a French press coffee maker while you're at it. For some reason, we have friends and family that think it is so fancy to have cloth napkins, and I've even seen friends hesitate to use them, hesitate to get them dirty. But the point is to get them dirty. Use them to clean your hands and your face. It's such a tactile experience. I would rather clean my face and my hands with something natural, a well-worn piece of cotton, than a piece of paper. And it really helps prevent more trash going to the landfills. And the beautiful thing about napkins is it's like recycling. You just throw them in the wash and you can use them again and again and again. So we love our cloth napkins, and apparently they're very impressive. So I encourage you to try cloth napkins. They're pretty. I don't know if there are many things in my life that I love more than seeing a big bouquet of fresh cut flowers. They don't have to come from the store. They can come right from the yard. They can be wildflowers from the woods. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not picky. I love the sight of wildflowers. And one of my favorite quotes from one of my favorite writers is Dallas Willard saying, "Beauty is goodness made present to the senses." And when I think of that sentence, I think of flowers. That's what my mind goes to. So walking into a room with fresh cut flowers, it just evokes that beauty. It makes you realize that goodness is real, and that beauty and that goodness that you feel, in my opinion, that's a Hygge feeling. We love artwork. It doesn't have to be expensive pieces. We have nothing original. We only have cheap copies that we've gotten from secondhand stores, Goodwill, and things like that. I do have one real painting that I spent a little bit of extra money on. It was a huge investment for me at the time, and I love it. It's so special. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be fancy artwork or expensive artwork. I prefer prints because then I can get the paintings that I want. Impressionist paintings for me bring a feeling of softness, kind of a hazy, dreamy feel, and that's what evokes that Hygge feeling. So I love artwork. I encourage you to find beautiful, ethereal artwork for your home, and it will just brighten up your day. It'll brighten up your walls, it'll brighten up your space, and it'll bring that Hygge feeling to your home. So houseplants are wonderful because they brighten up a room, they bring color, they bring variety. They can make your home feel like a little bit of exotic. They can make it feel a little bit like a Victorian hothouse. It can bring variegated sizes and shapes and colors. Houseplants are fun because there's something for everyone. If you always forget to water, there's a plant for you. If you love to water too much, there's a plant for you. If you don't have a lot of bright light coming into your house, there's a plant for you. If you have tons and tons of light coming into your house, there's a plant for you. Plants will bring a lovely Hygge feeling to the whole ambiance of your home. Tea candles, regular candles. Tea candles are some of our favorites. You can get a 100-pack of tea candles from IKEA for like $4, and we just love to put them everywhere. It just makes the room feel more ethereal and bright, and it kind of gives that dreamy haze feeling. It can brighten up any dinner or dinner party or evening where you just want to dim the lights. It just makes it feel more special. So we encourage you to bring more candles into the house. Speaking of lights, strings of white lights are one of our favorite things in our house. If you can see right here beside me, we have some around this window. Part of the reason why we decided to incorporate strings of white lights all over our house is that we love Nigella Lawson. And Nigella Lawson always has strings of white lights all over her house. It just creates ambiance. It just evokes a feeling of magic. And I guarantee you, if you try it, you're going to love it. You'll dim the lights in the evening and you'll just have the white lights on, and it just feels peaceful. There's something about that glowy white light that just brings something to the room. So get some of these lights and you'll love them. Next up, we want to encourage you to get nice pots and pans. And when we say nice pots and pans, what we mean is cast iron enamel, like Luxuries or Dance. There are several different brands. There are a couple Danish brands and a couple French brands, but basically it's just cast iron with enamel coloring on the outside. It's wonderful to cook with. It really holds the heat, and it really does not allow your food to burn easily. But most importantly, maybe not most importantly, but pretty importantly, you can get it in every color of the rainbow. And we have all the colors. We love the colors. It just brings something special to the kitchen when you're cooking in a beautiful piece of cookware. Some of my favorites are my pink pieces and my pale blue pieces and my pale yellow pieces. It is expensive, generally speaking, but you can get some really great pieces on eBay. That's where we've gotten most of ours. So I encourage you to check out real cast iron enamelware. You will love it, and you'll love the way it cooks. You'll love the way it looks. We really love to eat off of pretty dishes. We don't have fancy dishes, we don't have expensive dishes, we don't have fine china. We have a lot of mismatched stuff that we've gotten over the years from secondhand stores and thrift stores and things like that. But it all just goes together because it's all floral, it's very feminine, and it makes the meal feel more special. When I'm eating on a plate that's pretty, I feel like the meal is more enjoyable because it's engaging more than just one sense. And that's really what Hygge is about. You're engaging all of the senses. Also, if I'm gonna have a nice cup of tea, I would prefer it to be in a beautiful teacup than a big, ugly coffee mug. Coffee mugs are fine, it's not a big deal, but there's just something special about drinking a nice little cup of tea in a nice teacup. You know, there's just something about home that should feel extra special. It should feel like a place that you go to and feel peace. if we don't have peace in our homes, we're not going to take peace out to the world. So we just really encourage you to develop that Hygge home for yourself and your family. I hope that this really blesses you. If you liked it, please give us a thumbs up and please consider subscribing. Leave us a comment below if you have other ideas about how to keep a Hygge home. And thank you so much. We'll see you next time.